This week on Winchester and Drury's Natural Born.
The week before Christmas, we're heading towards Christmas holidays. He's a buck I call Curve.
Great hunt, great year, and I'm blessed.
This week on Winchester and Drury's Natural Born, we'll be joining up with OG and returning DoD team member Steve Stoltz as he looks to close out his longtime hunting lease by taking out a nice Iowa whitetail with his muzzleloader.
He's a buck I call Curve because he's got curved brow tines.
This is a hunt you won't want to miss, so let's get this party started.
So throughout the summer, I was getting pictures of 3 or 4 really mature bucks. One big 8-point that we called Curve, not super high in score, but he was 5.5-year-old stud. But the 2 bucks that I really wanted to concentrate on, we're getting pictures of a buck that I call No Ones. Reason why I call him No Ones? For years, he's had real small G1s. This year, his G1s have blown and his rack has blown, and he is a stud, 5.5, 6.5-year-old. And last but not least is Shredder. He is the largest buck I've had on this lease in many years, maybe one of the largest. Either way, my game plan for this last year hunting on this lease is I want to take the largest whitetail that I can possibly take off the property, the most mature buck that we have.
After a couple of close encounters with some gigantic Iowa brutes,
That was No Ones, and I almost got him shot.
Steve now finds himself scrambling as a 188-inch monster named Shredder is barreling through the timber.
Well, this whole time it's happening so quick. I'm twisting, I'm turning, I'm trying to move the camera, get the bow ready, get everything ready, and try and anticipate where I'm going to get my shot. I first thought it was No Ones, but it was Shredder.
Wow, what a buck. My gosh. I've been blessed to be able to hunt this place, and now my final year here, I take a buck like that. Buck of a lifetime.
And I couldn't wait to get down and get my hands around that giant. Unbelievable. I'm proud to be back with Mark and Terry Drury and proud to take such a giant whitetail like this. Unbelievable.
Now, with his Iowa bow tag filled, Steve's hoping to close out his season in Iowa on a mature buck with his muzzleloader.
Well, it's the week before Christmas. We're heading towards Christmas holidays, and I'm hunting with my muzzleloader here in Iowa. It's gun season, and I'm hunting a food plot, Winter Bulb Sugar Beets by Biologic, one of my favorite all-fall food plots, especially for late season right now, as there's snow on the ground. But I'm trying to get a deer shot that we call No Ones, and we've got a great history with this buck. A friend of mine hit this buck earlier this year with a bow in November, and the buck survived. He hit him too high. I was hoping the buck would survive. That buck disappeared for 2 or 3 weeks and then showed back up on trail camera on this food plot. Looking a little down in weight, but nevertheless, he's still alive, and that's the buck that I want to shoot. There's several other good bucks that are going to be tempting if they step out here. It's really cold. It's probably mid-20s, westerly wind. We've got a barometric pressure over 30.0. So all the conditions are perfect for a good evening here on this food plot. So maybe we'll get her done. Got a really nice 8-point. He's a buck I call Curve because he's got curved brow tines and great history with that buck. He's fully mature. I'm gonna guess he's 4.5, or he might be a 5.5. Just a stud of a buck, but he's not No Ones, so he gets a free pass tonight. Towards the end of the season, he may be in trouble. I got great history with that buck. Big 8-point named Curve.
Make the most of your time in the woods by knowing when whitetails will be moving on your prime spots up to 10 days in advance. Get ahead of your game with DeerCast.
You know, a fishing rod is a lot like a magic wand. It connects you to a world you can't see, but you know it's there. You can just feel it. Every time you cast, your hands remember the anticipation, knowing at any moment something spectacular could happen. So we keep casting and keep believing. Mossy Oak, made for moments like this.
We live in a connected world. Why should your trail camera be any different? Our proven HyperFire 2 is now 4G LTE cellular enabled, allowing you to receive images from almost anywhere in the world. With the Reconyx Connect mobile app, you can create a custom cellular plan, manage images, check camera status, or change settings remotely. Cost-effective data plans utilizing Verizon or AT&T are available directly through Reconyx and are backed by a full 5-year warranty. Reconyx, see what you've been missing.
You're dedicated to the hunt, putting in the time, the sweat, the energy, no matter the cost. During the off-season, in the heat of summer or the cold of winter, scouting, setting up your gear and equipment, and making plans through every step. When it's finally go time, when it's you versus him, that's when you give your best, because nothing is worse than ending a hunt before it begins with unwanted odor. Scent Crusher. Scent off. Game on.
You grow to love the repetition. Enter at the Old Elm, Third Maple on the right. Maybe today. Maybe not. Sleep, refuel, try again. This time is different. I've elevated myself.
Natural Barn is brought to you by Scent Crusher, Bass Pro Shops and Cabela's, Matthews Archery, Mission Crossbows, Reconyx Game Cameras, Nomad Outdoors, Mossy Oak Camouflage, Outdoor Edge, Analogics Outdoors, First Form, DeerCast, and Winchester Ammunition. OG Drury Outdoors team member Steve Stoltz is back in action.
And I'm hunting with my muzzleloader here in Iowa. It's gun season.
Steve Stoltz has no shortage of monster whitetails on his Iowa farm, and he's itching to put his muzzleloader to use.
Well, it is Wednesday, January the 8th, and I was just got on my phone and was checking DeerCast, and DeerCast said the hunting this evening is going to be great. Actually, the last great evening it's predicting before the season ends, January 10th, which is two days from right now. So winding the 2019 season up here, January of 2020. Barometric pressure is 30.28 with a steady wind from the southeast. That's perfect for this actual blind that I'm hunting. I'm hunting blind that I've been hunting. It's the only box blind I have on the place, but it's on Winter Bulb Sugar Beets by Biologic. Really pretty spot. The food plot came up beautifully, and I know there's several good shooter bucks hanging right near this food plot. I'm getting pictures of them, not consistently, but they are showing up here in some daylight hours according to trail cam pictures. Sometimes after dark. It's a little colder today, got down to almost single digits last night. It was in the teens most of the day. It's just touching 30 degrees right now. So it's really, really chilled off than what it was for the last few days, and that might get some big deer on their feet before dark. So, but I'm winding it down. The deer that I was after, a buck that I call No One's, a great, big, huge 10-point. I've been after all fall, actually. A friend of mine hit him, and he survived the hit, unfortunately. Just last night, got a picture of him, and he's lost one side. So kind of sad for me, because he's a buck that I've been trying to get, like I said, all fall. But you know what? He lives for next year for somebody else to try and take him. So I'm winding it down. Hopefully we'll get it done tonight. what a way to end my last evening, my last hunt on this lease. I had to wait a while. He was behind that tall grass. I had to wait for him to feed out into the food plot where I got a good clear shot at him. He's down right over here, so we're gonna go take a look at him. Awesome, awesome hunt. All right, there's the blind. That's the blind I was in. Curve went down. Oh man, big giant 8-point. Look at this. Unbelievable.
Wow. All right, got him down. And what a gorgeous 8-point this buck is. I call him Curve. He's got brow tines that curve to the inside of his rack. That's why I know what deer he is. Oh, man, what a hunt. He stepped out in that food plot and he's in that tall grass, or at least the tall grass between me and him. And I didn't want to shoot through that grass. I had to wait for him to feed out more in the open, and then I was able to put the shot on him before it got too dark. Great hunt, great year, and I'm blessed. Unbelievable.
Next week on Winchester and Drury's Natural Born, we'll meet up with DoD veteran John Williams and his granddaughter Ashley Plale.
See your trigger finger. You're ready, let's go.
With her Winchester 308 in hand, Ashley is hoping to lay the boom on a nice 8-point Missouri buck.
She did a good job.
And you can catch it all right here next week on DoD TV.
It never gets old. The smell of crisp fall air. The wind blowing through the trees. The adrenaline rush when a shooter walks into range. But it's more than just luck that brings you to that moment. It's time and effort spent in the off-season that makes the real difference. Don't leave your next hunt to chance. Choose the best. Choose Analogics Outdoors.
Season at Bass Pro Shops and Cabela's. Get the best deals on great hunting gear in-store and online.
We're adding new videos every week, so make sure to click that subscribe button and check out all of our amazing content. This episode of DoD TV was brought to you by Sportsman's Channel, your home for everything red, wild, and blue.